Alright, here's the actual pathway that I built from my house. So it starts about here. I'm trying to level off this backyard with soil and new grass because it was all dead. But here's the pathway that I built for my son. So you can see here's some of those logs that I've used to keep the wood chips in place. Here's some of the branches that were left over. There's another pile that I'm going to use for later on. So I'm putting it at the bottom before I put the wood chips to kind of create like a little web pattern to hold the mulch in place, or wood chips we want to call it. But here's the pathway. And I ran out. Well, actually, I haven't finished yet. I still have more wood chips to go through. But here's part of the problem. Like right here, it kind of slopes down. So I have to fill this up to match up that level to make it easier for my son. And this whole thing is gonna go. Okay, the grass is wet, so I don't want to go too far. But I plan on putting more mulch this whole way. And then right here, I have to excavate because obviously it's a very deep slope. So I have to excavate and put some of that soil over here to level it off. I gotta get a chainsaw and rip some of that off right here so that he can get through there easily. Later on, I might look for free, what are they called? Pallets, and build a little fence on this side because a lot of the coyotes usually come from down there in the creek side, and they usually come up this way to get food because we have seen lots of rabbits, raccoons, and possums in this wooded area. But yeah, so here's a view walking in. Still a lot of work to do, but my son enjoys coming out here. And if we come out here early in the morning on a weekend or late afternoon, we usually will see rabbits out in the field eating grass and stuff. But once again, so this is a much better view with actual sunlight. This is all the wood chips. Once again, the logs and branches that they didn't chip properly. And there's more branches. This is the whole pathway. And my wife wanted me to build a little fire pit, so I did. But this was before we got the wood chips. And now she doesn't like the fact that the fire pit is so close to the wood chips. So now she wants me to move it somewhere else. After I spent the whole weekend trying to make sure it was leveled. These are stumps, or trunks rather, that were also in that delivery. We're going to use them as little benches for people to sit on around the fire pit. Here's a remainder of that wood chip delivery, which I still have to obviously use back there. But basically, these were additional logs that also came in the deliveries. I use them as a retaining wall. This is a compost pile that I'm working on. I've already used up half of it, but I added some more. Big mistake. I should have let it finish before I added more to it. But this wood chips are going to go to the back, and some of it also will go to filling up that area. That is another area of soil erosion. As you can see, the fence, all the soil used to be up to here, and it kind of went down over the years. I'm assuming, at least, because we bought the house last year and we saw how bad it was. Oh, my wife wants me to put a swinging bench right here so that 2 or 3 people can sit on it. So that's another project I gotta build. That right there's more logs that came in, but those I'm actually gonna save because my brother-in-law wants them for brisket, because that's actually oak, which is good for brisket. So let me show you how much mulch I got. Here's the hole that I'm filling in. But believe it or not, from that right there down to here is 2-foot drop. So I have to look for free soil, fill dirt to be delivered to fill up this huge hole. I need about, believe it or not, I need about 5 yards. So far the cheapest quote I got was $200 for a 5-yard load, but for $300 I can get 10 yards, which would be helpful if I want to fill up on this side too to prevent further soil erosion. But the 10-yard dump truck will not fit in my backyard because the clearance is not high enough. So I have to figure out a plan. But there you go. It's a work in progress. But I'm doing it all for my son. And eventually this little retaining wall, if I can point to it, this whole part will be removed. That would be leveled to the ground. That way my son can come up through here, just walk down on his wheelchair and just go straight into the pool or straight into the patio deck, which I also will expand later on when we have more money, because that's for a concrete job. If I do it myself, that's about $200 worth of concrete to double it. Right now it is a, what is it, 6 by 9, I want to say. Hold on, 2, 3, 6, 7. Oh, 7 by 9. But I want to double it to be well, actually, we want to do it 13 by 13 if possible, or 13 by 10, as close as possible as we can. But still, that's about more than we have right now. But there you go. Enjoy.